Hi guys, today we're going to talk about nouns in Sylheti. Before we start, if you are learning Sylheti, you should already be aware of the fact that Sylheti doesn't have grammatical gender like many other languages have. So there is no gender differentiation in the nouns. But that doesn't mean there is no way to differentiate between masculine and feminine nouns when it's necessary. For example, you see beta, you see beta, and you see Betty. Beta is adult male, man. Betty is adult female, women. So, do you see how the masculine noun ends with a and the feminine noun ends with e? The same here. Fua is boy, Furi is girl. Fua ends with a, Furi ends with e. And then Buddha is an old man, ends with a. And then Buri is an old woman, ends with e. Another suffix you could be looking out for is ni. This is only for feminine nouns in certain contexts. For example, doctor is a male doctor, and then doctorni is a female doctor. Why is it a female doctor? Because it has ni at the end. Ni. Mashtor is a male teacher. Mashtorni is a female teacher because it has ni at the end. So yeah, we don't have grammatical gender, but in certain contexts, these suffixes, knowing these suffixes could help you distinguish between feminine and masculine nouns. Now, on to the next point. The focus of today's video is plural nouns and how to talk about plurality and Sylheti. Before we jump to that, I briefly talked about this in some of my previous videos, I believe. So, gu and cha. Ogu is here, close by this. Hogu is that. Ochta is here, this, and then Hochta is that there. Ogu and Hogu and Ochta and Hochta refer to proximity, but the point is the gu and the ta. These suffixes, they are used to talk about inanimate objects and just objects in general, sometimes animate objects like humans and people, but usually they are used to talk about inanimate objects or animals. So Huruta in general is a child. Hurutagu is a child, but you are specifying that child. So that child is the subject of your sentence. So Huruta ogu, this child. Huruta hogu, that child. Hurutagu, just child, but that child is the subject. To make it plural, you're gonna say hurutaguin. We're just gonna add this suffix is in. So we're just gonna add in to everything to make it plural. For inanimate objects, you're gonna add gu and then in. So hurutaguin. Let's look at here. Butolguin. Butol is bottle. Butolgun or butolguin is bottles. Why are you saying gun and not guin? It's the same thing. Like we learned tan and thine for he or she. The pronoun tan and thine, there's no difference between it. It's just a speech pattern. It's just how some people say it. So between tan and thine, there is no difference. Between gun and guin, there is no difference. You can say huruta guin. You can say huruta gun. There is no difference. But as I mentioned, these are only for inanimate objects. Huruta is not inanimate, but in the grammatical sense and Sylheti, Huruta is treated as an inanimate object. For Betty, for a woman, you're gonna just add n because there's already a e sound at the end. So betin, women. For men, you can just say beta and then in, betain. Do you see what we're doing here? We're just adding the suffix. We're just adding in to everything, betain. For beta and beti, you are not going to add g, because they're people, they're persons, and you want to be respectful. So you're just going to add ns and in. If you add gu, like beta gu and beti gu, it's a little disrespectful to people. So it's preferred that you say betin and betain instead of betiguin and betagun, you know. So to make things plural, just add in to everything, or guin. For example, let's give another example. That's a weird way to say it. Okay, so let's talk about flowers. Full. Full, we're gonna say full guin, or full gun, means flowers. Flowers. And if we're talking about one flower, fulgu, or fulogu, or fulhogu, to specify proximity. So fulgun for flowers. Let's give another example. Bag. Bag. Bag is for tiger. So tigers, bag oguin. These tigers, bag hoguin. Those tigers. Okay, so let's move on to another part that I think could be very useful. These words, you can use them to enrich your sentences. You can use to talk about plurality, and in a sense you can express more. Okay, I lost what I was about to say. But okay, so both, this term is both. Both means a lot. Both. It sounds, that's how you say in English, both. So both is a lot. Tura, tura, erzora, or erzori. These mean a little. These mean a little. Tura, erzora, erzori. A little. Kisu, joer. They mean some. Kisu, joer. They mean some. So kisu and joer, the reason I put this asterisk next to it is because these two, a little and some, these words are interchangeable. Even though in English a little and some may have different meanings, in Sylheti these words are interchangeable. There are just some grammatical rulings between when can you say joer and when can you say kisu, when can you say tura. Yeah, tura you can say for almost everything. That's why you will notice that in my Sylheti lessons I tend to use these words more than these. So you can use them. They're interchangeable. They're the same meanings. They have the same meanings in Sylheti. Just be aware that there are some grammatical rulings in where can you use joer and where can you use kisu. So just to be safe, if you want to, you can just opt for this. And let's move to this. Hakol or hokol. This means all. Hakol or hakol. So this means all. And bakka means quite a lot. You would think, why did I put it? It's not a very common expression, but trust me, bakka is a very common expression in Sylheti, and it's useful for you to know it because people are going to use it, and you want to be able to use it and understand it. Let me give you some example. Both khani. Okay, this looks like it means both. Okay, both khani, a lot of food. Tura khani, a little food. Erzora khani, a little food. Erzori khani, a little food. Kisu khani, some food. Khoe khani, that doesn't go. That doesn't make sense in grammar. It doesn't sound natural, so we're not gonna say khoe. Hokol khani makes sense. All food. Bakka khani, quite a lot of food. An example sentence would be Dukano both manush dekhsi. Dukano, in the shop, in the store, both manush dekhsi. In the store, I saw a lot of people. Dukano bakka betain dekhsi. In the store, I saw a lot of men. Quite a lot of men, actually. So, what's the difference between these two sentences? Besides the phrase manushan, besides the word manushan beta, the main difference is, do you see how with both we just added manush? We didn't make manush plural. We just said manush, both manush. And with this one, we just said bakka with betain. So we used two plurality here. In some other sister languages of Sylheti, this would be grammatically incorrect. You are not supposed to use bakka and then in. That way you are just supposed to say both and manush. So I hope I'm making sense. Okay, so you are not supposed to use bakka and in together because they are both signifiers of plurality. But Sylheti, since we don't have an academy, a Sylheti language academy dictating what you can or cannot do, you don't have to worry about it. You can say bakka betain, you can say bakka beta, you can say both manush, you can say both manush hohol, you can say both manush going, no, both manush going doesn't, both manushain. You can say this and it will sound very natural. So you don't have to worry about what you can or cannot use in terms of plurality and Sylheti. So enjoy the flexibility and enjoy learning about nouns. And I'll see you next time. Bye.